All right, everyone. Welcome back to True City Fan TV. We're just here for a real quick recap of the Everton game and a quick Villarreal preview. I've got Carl with me today, and it's been a while. I feel like we haven't had Carl on the channel in a while, so he's gonna give us a great breakdown of how the game went. Might as well just jump into it. What do you think of that game?
Yeah, thanks, Kelly, for having me on. And just to let everybody know, I think Kelly's done an incredible job with Patrick on the channel to keep it moving. I think the channel offers us a way to express, our hopes, joys, our frustrations, things that we see, things that we could improve on, but just recognize that at the end of the day, we do love the club. This channel has brought Patrick and I together. Without the club and the channel, there's no way I know Patrick. There's no way I know Kelly. So I treasure these moments because these are where friendships are born and friendships are forged. Great job, Kelly and Patrick. I know what you're going through. We're with you in prayer, and we love you. So just keep fighting, brother. We're with you. Everton. So I thought it's the game of two halves, right? If you really boil it down, I think the first half we were all frustrated, right, with the fact that we thought we were too cautious, we were too slow in how we played, build up, shaky, ropey, not lacking confidence, and then second half we lose the chains and we were dominant, quicker with the ball, more decisive, and we could have had 3, 4, 5 goals. And I always say that second half performance is what I would like to see us play with all the time from the first whistle. Why that happened, I don't know. Are Everton poor? No. Are Everton, top 3? No. But they're a stubborn entity we had to crack and break down.
Very stubborn defense.
Right. And they've proven that they are stubborn. They played Liverpool. I believe it was a very tight loss. They played some good teams. They beat Palace, I believe, or drew with Palace. So it was difficult. But this was a must win. Because I kind of reckon that United were going to get something out of Liverpool. I kind of felt that at least something was going to happen in that game. And if that happens, all of a sudden we are 3 points behind Arsenal, haven't played Arsenal at the Emirates, and it's just a game changer. We're now in the conversation, and we haven't played our best football yet this season.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So it was a good performance, 3 points, 2 goals, Erling Haaland on fire. And here we are. A rocky start to the season. We're 8 games in. We're looking tight and sharp and in the conversation for a good season. What that ends up being, I don't know. But I like parts of what we do in games, which is good enough for me.
Yeah, that's a great summary of the game. Like, I thought it was interesting in the first half. I actually went back and rewatched the game to try to, because I feel like the fan base in a whole was just freaking out about the first half. I was one of them. I was trying to be less freaky outy, but I was definitely a little concerned about it. As you could tell from if anybody checks out the watch alongs, like we're freaking out the whole time. But yeah, it's interesting. I thought we were trying to build more from the wings, and again on that second viewing, when I first watched it live, I was like, "This is awful. Our wingers are being terrible." But when you watch it back a second time, you realize they actually were succeeding. Like Doku wasn't as bad as I thought he was. Savio wasn't as bad as I thought he was. They were actually getting the ball where they needed to go. But again, in that final third, I think they're still a little inconsistent. And they're young players, so I accept that. But then in the second half, it changed. I think it really changed when it didn't change right away. It changed. I think it changed when the subs came on.
Yeah.
I really think it did win. Particularly Bernardo Silva, who's somebody I have been slating all last year. I was the biggest Bernardo hater, according to some people in our fan base. So I thought he brought a lot of stability to the midfield in particular. And it really, what it did is it freed up Foden, and then Foden could just go out and do his thing. And Foden went and carried us. But it wasn't until Bernardo came into the game that I think that really happened.
And the question I have for you is that when Bernardo came on, what role did he play?
He replaced Tijani. So because Tijani still has to learn how to do what Bernardo does. And again, I'm going to give him grace because it's only been 8 games. So I'm going to give him time. So I
But
think Bernardo's job the rest of the season is to pass this knowledge on as much as he can. I know, obviously, it's not like he can transplant his brain, but I
yeah,
really want, like, as a captain, I need him to do that. And he led by example in a sense.
yeah.
Like, as a
This is
captain, I
and
thought that
that's
was a perfect way to use him too. Because one thing we saw last season is when you threw him out every game for 90 minutes, his quality declined dramatically. But
well,
today
this is
we're
the thing,
managing, or this season we're managing him better. We're not playing him
right?
every game, and we're playing him substitute appearances. Like, that was a perfect like substitute appearance. Like, that's a great role for him in certain
Right.
games. Like, a low block, I'm probably not going to start him because I think that he just doesn't offer enough going forward. But he showed that he can come into a game and influence it tremendously. And so I was
Well,
very happy
well,
with his
I mean, there are
performance.
many of us in the fan base that, and everybody has an opinion. I respect that, right? Who say, Bernardo should be sold in the
Thanks,
summer,
Leon.
and Bernardo should be sold in the summer and all that. I don't agree with that. I think about the role that Modric had in his last days at Madrid, right? Didn't play the 90 minutes, but he had the experience and the
What up,
control to be
Sorrel?
able to come into the game and do a job. And that's what we saw, over the weekend with Bernardo. So I think he still has a role to play.
Yeah, and think back to that Arsenal game where he did play the full 90. I thought that was like that was a captain's performance. Like,
yeah,
that's the games I want him to start. I don't
because at
We're
the
going
end
to
of the
face a
day,
lot of low blocks, and I don't think we need him for those games. So I would save him and keep him fresh for the Liverpools, for the Arsenals, for Old Trafford games, like for
yeah,
the big tough Champions League games, because he showed he could still be really great in those games.
I agree with that, and that's why I don't come to this. I don't agree with this. Oh, Bernardo out, because then who do you replace him with that level of maturity and understanding of the Pep system? There are very few people out there who can do that.
No.
So keep him on, use him as you see fit, use him wisely, use him to change the game, to control the game, to stabilize the game. That's how you use it. And I'm sure he's going to be happy playing that role. So yeah, for me that was the game changer, because Bernardo could drop a little deeper and that Foden can move a little forward to express himself.
Yeah. And
As
he
well
still
as
got it too. Yeah. When he's not exhausted from running around for 90 minutes every 3 days like he was last season,
yeah,
he shows he still has his quality. So we just got to
yeah.
keep using him like that. But
But
what I
also,
really want to, oh, sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
but also think about it, right? By the time Bernardo comes on, he's at 100% energy level. Think about the battery, right? So he's 100%. So everybody on the field, both your opposition and our team, is probably around 60% full, right? So Bernardo's 100% is probably equal to everybody's 60%. That's 21, 22. So now you have that good balance, right? Because now he has the energy to do what he's supposed to do, while everybody else is kind of tired. And so you have that good balance. Yeah, for me, he was a game changer for us in that game. It allowed us to do things that we couldn't do before. So I was pleased with that. Also, I thought that when we moved Savino to the left-hand side, he had better
There we go.
rhythm. Right?
Zorro wants to know, what do you think of my boy after the rewatch? He said it changed when the best left winger was on the left wing.
Yeah,
He's a number one Savio fan.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, when I rewatched it, Savino, he wasn't as bad as I thought he was when I was watching it live.
well,
And
think about
for
Savino is
credit, he still got the assist too, so it wasn't
yeah.
like
Think about Savino is I don't like him on the right
yeah,
because I think he's too one-dimensional, right? So he doesn't get goals much. So if you're an inverted winger, the idea of inverting you so you can get the goals, chop in, come in inside, left foot, bang, goal. If you're not doing that, might as well go play left-hand side and use that ability to go 1v1 into the box, right? Or set up the assist. So I thought when he
yeah,
moved to
and
the left-hand side, he was much better, right?
yeah, and statistically last season he got most of his GNA contributions as on the left side. Because remember, he had a pretty decent, I think he had like 7 or 8 games in a row where he was playing on the left. I think it was when Doku was injured. And it was before we had Marmouche. And that's kind of when he started getting going.
Yeah.
And for him, I've changed my mind on him. I'm not really going to look for goals anymore. I mean, it's great if he contributes them. I want Savino to get me those assists, because he had I think 9 of them last season just in the Premier League. I believe 12 or 13 in all comps. I want him to, if he's giving me 10 or 15 assists, I'm in all comps this season. I'll be very happy with that kind of contribution, because we have the best finisher in the game. So I just want people giving him the ball. Like, there's been a lot of discussion about like, oh, well, this guy scored 10 goals and this guy scored 10 goals. This guy scored 10 goals. It's like, I'll just take the assists. Like, I'll have the wingers. If Doku, and I'll say this for Doku, Savino, and even Oscar Bob when he plays, if they just give assists to either Marmouche and Holland, I'm going to be happy with them this season.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. And my only worry is that we need more goals from these guys. It can't just be Erling, right? I mean, I appreciate that. I think it's good,
Hey, Coutinho.
but I
Oh,
think we need
Ed's in
more
the
from
building too.
others as well, which is kind of why I think in the chat we talked about Villarreal and what, and how do we get Omar, Haaland, Cherki, and Foden on the field. And there's only one formation in my mind that you can do that with.
Is
There's
that a
only one
4-4-2 or a 3-5-2?
No, if you want to get Reinders, you want to get Foden, Cherki, Marmoush, and Haaland in the same team, you can't do 4-3-3 or the traditional 4-3-3 with high and wide wingers. You can't do that. I think what you do is do a 4-3-1-2.
Okay, 4-3-1-2.
Yeah, 4-3-1-2, where you have Erling and Marmoush two top, right, either side, because they both offer each other. Maybe Marmoush goes inside, right, of Haaland, but you can have them left and right. You can have Shirk in that number 10 position, kind of behind those two. And then the three, you have Rodri or Gonzalez, you have Foden, and then you have Reinders. All of a sudden, you have the 3 plus the 1 plus the 2. That's a powerful 6 up front. And you play in transition against those other teams that like to kind of possess the ball, or you go away in champion. That's what you do. But that strike force of Omar, Haaland, Cherki behind the 2 with Foden, Reinders, and Rodri, that's powerful. And then the back 4, right? Nico, O'Reilly, or Josko, Diaz, or Stones, and you have what's his name, Nunez. All of a sudden, you have that stability behind them, the 4, but you have that incredible 3 in the middle, and then the 1 and the 2. That's how you get all of them inside. That's from my perspective what you kind of do. But I don't think playing Omar left wide and playing Cherki wide right, I don't think you get the best out of them. Those guys need to be on the ball as much as possible, and let Erling and Marmoush do what they do best, which is kill up opposition 1v1. Can't touch it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how it evolves too, because I think Turkey is still in the development stage. Like he's further along in the development than I thought he was when he came in, but it will take a little bit of time for him. And we could see Tijani's kind of having some growing pains as well, which is completely understandable because most midfielders take a year under Pep, and I think he's ahead of that trajectory. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves as the season progresses. Because also Pep doesn't. He always this is experimental phase, and we know that he starts cooking in like February.
I want to destroy this argument around. Listen, these guys are playing football, which is chaotic, by the way, and so they're always going to make mistakes. It's normal. They will never achieve perfection. Perfection of football is impossible to achieve, right? Because you always.
Although Pep's come close a few times. Let's
be
real.
Perfection
if anyone can do it, Pep Guardiola.
Perfection is 114 points.
He's our manager.
But perfection is 114 points. No one's achieved that. No one's going to achieve that. 100 points is the closest to perfection we've ever been. Any club has ever been, and we still make mistakes, right? So it ain't happening. So everybody's going to make a mistake. It's normal. The question becomes, are they closer to what we deem to be perfection, which is what we're looking for? Nico Gonzalez, we always knew was going to be a great kid. Just needed time on the field. And so it's, when the Premier League stats 38 games ends 114 points, that is perfection. That is 100. Even Arsenal's Invincibles were not perfect. They weren't beaten.
They had 13 draws.
Right. Doesn't make them perfect. The only team in football in Premier League that's been close to perfect were 2 teams, I would say. One is 100 points, Man City, and 99 with Liverpool. Liverpool still didn't win the title. Points. So we just need to have time and grace for these people to. Some days are going to be good, others are going to be bad. It's just, man is going to back things up once in a while. Okay, fine. But look at where we are right now. Second in the league, 3 points behind Arsenal. And I tell you this right now, you stay 3 points behind Arsenal when it comes to 10 games to go, Arsenal ain't winning it. They will crumble.
Yeah, we just have to keep it close. I totally agree with that. Well, we got Martin here who was at the game. You want to give us a quick recap of what you observed?
No, good evening. No, Carl summed it up perfectly. I was happy with it. See, first half for me, I don't mind it because Everton set up exactly as I thought Everton would. Stodgy, stubborn, low block, got us on the counter. For me, I'd rather be a bit of a slower first half and get the tempo in the second half. I'm one of them. I'd rather choke an opposition out, if you get what I mean. I know everyone wants to get the game done and buried and early, 3-0. But I think until that first goal goes in, the game changes. The subs change the game. And, I get it. Bernardo brought a total different energy with the game. He released Foden. Foden suddenly went a little bit deeper, but was playing through balls like De Bruyne-esque. That ball for the first, I watched it time and again because I thought, I need to watch that again. Because, you know, when you're watching it live, and I thought, I've got to watch it on CB. That ball from Foden to O'Reilly was just
So good.
exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
And then O'Reilly, and listen, I thought we were okay in the first half. You know, Everton had a couple of chances through our own faults, which I just think that's a lot of it. Sadly, did come down Ake's side. I think Ake was a bit rusty. He's not played a lot, but I was overly happy with it. No complaints at all. You know, the only complaint is I would like to have, you know, could have been 4 or 5 by the end. It should have been 4 or 5 by
Dropping
the end.
the ball, Holland.
No, but just that. Doku had a 1-on-1. Sabinho could have scored. Reinders could have scored. You know, we did have chances. We hit the bar. It was just one of them games. I'm just very happy at the minute because I think we're not there at the minute, but we're under the radar. And I'm starting to embrace this being under the radar. I like this. I like this in the shadows bit because, and for me, you know, I'm just excited by it, and I'm bouncing into every game, and the players are smiling. We're keeping clean sheets. We're scoring goals, and there's still room for improvement. It's quite scary that. And when Cherky come on and give that 15-minute cameo, wow. And you've got Mamouche to come back. You've got Kushinov to come back. And people talk about everyone else's squad depth. Well, keep saying it. When we're fit as a fiddle, our squad depth's up there with the best.
We have quality in depth too, not just quantity. Like, I think we have very, very quality pieces that are coming off a bench. Also, Martin, you might have missed my my Bernardo Silva apology segment.
Can I just say, by the way, there's someone else I've got a really big up for Saturday, and he's had a lot of stick from a lot of people, you know. And I know Alan jokes and calls him the tram driver, but Mateus Nunes deserves a lot of praise for that performance.
Yeah, he had a very good game. He's
Because
improving a lot.
I thought
this is the exact game for him too. He's great to help.
He was exquisite.
Yeah, he helps to unlock a low block.
See, for me, and me and Carl spoke about this in the past. This is why sometimes having a midfielder at your fullback position under Pep, don't think it would work under a lot of other managers. But I think under Pep, I think a midfielder does work at fullback. You've seen O'Reilly, the exact same. O'Reilly's not a fullback. O'Reilly's a midfielder. Nunes is a midfielder.
Yeah. So
we had a comment about that from Predator.
Okay, just to build on
Martin.
Martin.
Better when the fullbacks overlap, and then Nico O'Reilly's highlighted.
So Martin,
he was great. Both Nicos were great.
Kelly, one of the things that I've heard Pep say, and I said that, and this stuck in my brain, and I use it a lot even for my own, you know, football team, is that, and it comes from Cruyff, by the way, is that it is easier to take a player from the front line and go backwards than it is to take a player who's traditionally a defensive player and move them forwards. Because your technical ability on the ball, right, allows you to do things that a person who traditionally is, for example, a center back, finds it very hard to play in the 9 or the 10 or the 8. But you can take an 8 and coach them to play a center back, or coach them to play a right back or a left back.
Well, they can't always turn that full 360, can they? They can't always look what's behind them. So when you ask a midfielder, you've got the whole of the field in front of you at that point. All the plays in front of you.
Right. Which is why you see into the modern day youth football, you see U8 and U9 kids, the best technical players are the ones who start at center back. And then gradually what happens is that they now move these kids forward, because they're the ones who can set the rhythm of the game, who can build through the lines. I was talking to this academy guy from Ajax a couple of months ago about one kid who was complaining, why is the guy you're playing to get a center back? So what? They play them at center back. Because that's how the game is built. You see the game from behind and you play through the thirds, and the kids who are young who are able to do that are the ones you play back there. The kid who plays striker all the time at 9 and 10 years old is usually the worst player on the field. That's why they hide it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's the last one
Predator
to
has
see
a
the
question
bloody
for
game.
you guys. He wants to know if Nico O'Reilly should be tried at 6 in the Rodri role.
You know,
Last
Mark,
season, I believe.
I'd keep him where he is. I'd keep him
Yeah.
where he is, if I'm going to be totally honest. Because I think with the way Pep inverts them anyway, he can kind of doesn't end up there, but he can sort of go into that area of the pitch. But for me, I wouldn't. I mean, for me, I think O'Reilly's to stand out. He's sort of. We talked about it earlier on Mo's channel. He's sort of doing the Lewis Skeller sort of plaudits at the moment. Now, I don't want to big him up too much because, you know, the same way I don't want to shoot a player down too much, I don't want to big a player up too much. I just think if he goes on the path he's going, we're looking at an absolute. We're looking at another Phil Foden in the academy here. That will be an ever-present moving forward. An ever-present moving forward.
Keep Nico where he is.
I really do. He just adds a lot. And I'll be honest with you, all the trouble was coming down our left. Everton were attacking down their right a lot. Because what I know, I don't know what Carl thinks or you think. I think they noticed Ake was a little bit rusty, a little bit. He has lost the yard of pace, which comes as a footballer. But I think they targeted that side with Ake a lot. And I think they think we can get. And I think they were looking at O'Reilly as a weakness. And I think they found out very quick that this kid he's also got upper body strength. His strengths are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The way he just knocks people over the ball and keeps them going. And I also think it helps Nico G as well in that role. Because the way I look at it, I always look at footballers and the way I look at it as like a chessboard. What you do is you set your pieces up and one piece affects the other piece. And another piece will affect another piece. And so you've got your back line should be in total sync with the correct. So you pick your midfield, that's going to go with your back line, that will go with your front line. So they should basically transition from A to B to C. Yeah. And I actually think with the way we've got at the moment, I think that's where Nico G's flourishing as well. Now Reinders, and we can't, he's still not young, but he's still a new player. He's been here 10 games. I'm not expecting, I think he's doing okay. I think he probably could do with the rest of, a game out or two, just to rest or whatever. And the big positive, we've got Gavardio rested as well, which nobody noticed. Nobody noticed it, and nobody talked about it. It was just like Gavardio just rested.
Yeah, that was great. We got an interesting comment about Victor Hayes being the 6th. He is bulking up a little bit in Girona, and he's getting a really hard life lesson.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that people have these wishes.
We got Romeo in the building.
But Kelly, to play the 6 in the 4-3-3 is not.
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to play the 6 in a 4-3-3. It is extremely hard
in a Pep system. You can't just stick somebody there who can pass the ball around.
It is extremely difficult. You have to have. I mean, it took Rodri a year and a half to even adapt, right?
Well, Kyle, I was telling Kel,
he was already a 6.
Me, you, and Pat. When did we do that show? Was it 5 years ago on Calvin Phillips?
Yeah.
And we spent an hour and a half thinking Calvin Phillips is the perfect guy and he's going to be great. And the way he plays with Bielsa, and he just didn't fit. He just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
couldn't do that role.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we gotta say big up to Romeo checking in. Do you want to tell us what you thought about the game, the Everton game? Might have a delay. Anyways, we could just keep gossiping about it, or not gossiping, but big upping at Nico G. Because Martin had a little bit of a Nico G agenda for a time, saying it wasn't good enough and this and that. And I think
no.
I'm
man wasn't an agenda. I'm joking about the agenda talk. I think he was struggling. I think he's learning.
My internet.
And that's all I ask from players. I ask from a player is, Are you taking on board the advice you are given? Are you listening? Are you learning? Are you improving?
Yeah,
And
and we
he
can
is
see it
doing,
game by
he's
game.
ticking every box. He's
Yep.
ticking every single box. And that's
Yeah.
all you can ask for. Because it's a big
You
responsibility
still
to
there,
go in.
Romeo?
Because the thing is, everyone, and Carl knows this, we do it all the time. Everyone will compare him to Rodri, as they will compare A to B and C to D,
Oh, big up
and we'll
there.
always compare them to what we've had and what we're going to have and what we want. And you've just got to let them be their own players for me. Let Nico G
Yeah,
be Nico G, not Rodri.
exactly.
If you're going to
Don't look at
compare
him
him
as
to
being
Rodri,
Rodri. Look at him as Nico
yeah,
G.
if you
Sorry.
look at him to be Rodri, then he will always never be up to that standard. There is no another
Romeo.
Rodri.
No, and there never will be, and that's okay. Like I think we've seen how great he is, and hopefully that will carry on for a few more years. But Romeo, are you there? We're trying to get you on, but I think he froze. I'll remove you and then I'll bring you back in. Let me try that. So we'll see if that does anything. Cause I think he's froze. Oh yeah, I think he's Shame is dead. But yeah, no, Nico G has been just. This is why last season I kept going on and on and on about him because like I knew there was something there and it just needed the time. And now I understand why it didn't happen and I'm over it. He's getting his chance this year and he's proving his quality and it's just
But
a joy
it's
to
the
watch.
same with Kushinov. And I
Yeah.
get it. Everyone wants a new player in straight away. I get it. And
Yeah, we're starting to see
sometimes
that
they
in Turkey
need,
now.
yeah, they need that adaptation. They need you look at Bert's, for example. Bert's great player, but he's been chucked in straight away and gone, right, go. These are not plug and play. People look at footballers like they're just plug, play, go. I wish they were, and Carl will tell you when he's coaching his young lads, it's not that easy just to go plug, play.
It's impossible, mate.
It really is not that easy just to go plug and play with it, all these people. And that's why I said I think Kushinov. I think Kushinov has been, as an example, perfectly managed. 6 months, just dip him in and out. New country, new everything. He's a young lad, and that's why. And I know everyone. That's why I'm still giving Savini all the time because again, young lad. I didn't realize the other day Savini's younger than Oscar Bob. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that until I looked at it properly. He's
fair.
younger than Bob. People talk like Savini's 25.
Yeah, Carl and I were discussing how we think he's better on the left. I don't know if you want to
But when
add
he went
anything
on the
to that.
left on Sunday, I thought he was a lot more. I think Savini was a guy where, yes, I get the summertime thing happened. And I know he's. But if we punished every single player for transfer talk, we'd punish every single player in the world. Transfers are transfers. It's just part of the game, isn't it? So, but he does need to improve. I agree, he does. But he's played what, 2 games, full games?
Yeah,
For me, I'll judge him.
Romeo's
January,
back.
February.
Okay, it looks like Romeo's back. Let's see if his connection's
But it's like Doku. Sorry, I'm talking about. It's like Doku. Everyone's gone from Doku was amazing, so now Doku's gone back to Doku again. And I'm like, no, this is what we're too reactionary and we do recency biased, and everything's got to be done there and then.
Right,
Doku will be fine. Savio will be fine. They'll all be fine.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay, you hear Romeo. I think the connection's been a little choppy, but we want to try to get you on. Keeps freezing. That's kind of frustrating.
I hope Savio will be fine.
All right, go ahead. Well, you have a good connection. Give us your thoughts. Oh no, we're trying really hard.
My connection really sucks. I'm sorry, my fiber's down tonight. I don't know.
All right, well, just say what you can really quickly then.
Goes off again, definitely.
Oh, I think we lost him again. But we did get confirmation his internet's a little shaky, but we'll keep trying.
You know, I think they've been great off late. The performances have been really good, and like I was saying earlier, 2-0, nice and professional. But our over-reliance on Erling Haaland is a slight worry because, you know, if you look.
No, I think we lost
So
him, but
so okay, let me talk about
And
that
what
for a little.
happens if, God forbid, so
So let me talk about that for a little bit. So just from again, Martin knows I coach kids, right? So there's a kid on my team who's the number 9. This kid scores all the goals, probably 80%, 90% of our goals. And there was a game where this kid was injured, couldn't play, right? So we changed formation and we played somebody else in that position, scores a goal. So what I'm learning from that is if Erling's going to score all the goals and gets us to a title, good. Let him score all the goals. The moment he goes down, somebody else will step up and you find a solution.
Yeah, we have Marmouche back too. I think Marmouche is going to start scoring some goals.
Do you know why I don't worry about it? There was 5 games last season we didn't have Haaland. We won 4, drawn 1, and scored 15 goals. As Carl said, when you haven't got, why worry about a problem when the problem's not there?
Yeah, because I mean, we have Marmouche who can fill in as a number 9, even, and then we have Phil Foden who could be a false 9. And I was even suggesting this yesterday. I was talking to someone in a private chat about maybe potentially trying Tijani Reinders as a false 9. That might be. I don't know if it would work, but
it's come from rivals because they're jealous. It's come from rivals. I didn't hear any of this when Mo Salah was scoring 40 goals for Liverpool. Nobody was saying then they were over reliant on Salah.
True.
It's a narrative.
It's not a criticism per se. I'm just worried. But something happens. What are we gonna do? In our best seasons, we always had, like, if you looked at the top scorer charts, Man City always had like players. We had like Sterling, Mahrez, like a lot of guys in, and yeah, that's basically.
I think we lost half of that. But like I said, I think we have options if Haaland goes down. I hope we don't have to rely on that. I mean, but we can. I think we can. I think Marmouche has shown his quality as a goal scorer. And, I think he had a rough 2 games, like his Wolves. No, he didn't even start the Wolves game, did he? He was not very good in the Spurs game, but he was starting to cook on that Brighton game before he subbed off and then unfortunately got injured. So we haven't seen a lot of him yet, but he was starting to, get better. So, give him a couple of games. I think he'll start that Swansea game as a striker just to give him the minutes. Like maybe I hope he maybe if the opportunity allows it, he can get a few minutes tomorrow and then give him a few minutes at Villa and then start him in that Swansea game to get his fitness up. I think a lot of big names are actually going to start that Swansea game because a lot of them have missed a lot of time and they need the minutes. So it'll probably be a stronger lineup than we would have predicted early on. But I think Marmouche is going to be like your option if Haaland gets injured, like he was when Haaland got injured last season. And like Martin said, we scored 15 goals while he was out. And then we also have Phil Foden. Don't forget, Phil Foden is a goal scorer, and if you put him as a false 9, he'll start cooking again. Because
do you know where I worry? And again, hopefully Cal notices as a coach. I worry when we're not creating the chances.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Because at some point, these chances that Doku and Sabinho and Reinders all missed, they're going to go in. But my worry is when they're not in the areas, when they're not in the position. Like Pep said it, in training, they're bagging them. In training, they're putting them in the back of the net. Maybe it's just that, players do this all the time. You try and snatch at something when you need to be calm and relaxed, and you try and shoot with power when you need to placement, and you start questioning yourself, and you start thinking, oh, I missed the last one, I missed the last 2. And it's just sometimes you just need it. You need that scruffy goal. You need that scruffy goal. They don't always have to be like Mamouche who scores 30-yard screamers.
Yeah, those are fun too, though.
They don't all have to be the perfect goal. The one thing I do think my biggest criticism probably is I think we try and score the perfect goal now and again. When
That's
sometimes
true.
just put the ball in the damn net. It was like the Haaland to Reinders to Doku. Just one of you hit the damn thing. Get it done with. We don't have to try and score the perfect goal. And again, it's nice and it looks good on the eye. Just put the ball in the onion bag.
Yeah, this is an interesting comment from Zorro saying rivals saying our defense is shit, but they're ignoring our midfield off the ball is shit. But I want to kind of talk about the defense, and I know the Everton game maybe is not the best thing to bring it up, but the confidence in our defense lately has been much higher. Like I know it wasn't Diaz and Vardial on Everton, but when you add Vardial and Diaz plus the improvements of both Nico Riley and Mateus Nunes, or when he plays Husanov, like. I think a lot of us feel very comfortable and confident in that defense. And then, but the biggest factor I think in that is Donnarumma. Like Donnarumma has brought so much confidence to this team. I really underestimated his leadership and like just the way he just like came out of nowhere. Oh, look it, we're discussing Donnarumma and guess who shows up? It's Spartacus as we discuss Donnarumma.
That's actually, yeah, that's a coincidence.
Was that the trigger? That was the trigger. It was like the bad
that was
signal.
a trigger.
It's like Donnarumma, Spartacus. Here's the Donnarumma signal. But yeah, the confidence
Legend
he's
says
brought to our back line, a stable partnership. Like I got Judge Mo to admit yesterday on stream that our defense is better than Liverpool's because he said he trusts Pep Guardiola to organize them. So we have to give the credit to Colo Torre because I believe he's the one organizing the defense. And it's just like I just don't feel like other teams are going to score as many.
I've been saying this for a massive while. We have a better defense than Liverpool by a mile, and not far off Arsenal either. And the stats show, like, we are not far away from Arsenal. The difference is Arsenal play with 6 defenders on the pitch at a time. We play with 4.
Yeah, that's true because they have the 2 CDMs and 4 center backs, and we have 2 center backs and two attacking mids as fullbacks, and then we have one 8 playing a 6. But I think he's yeah, like I said, you might have missed it earlier. Nico Gonzalez is improving. I want to do a stream with you sometime, Spartacus, to talk about Nico G because I'm very interested in your thoughts on how he's improved a lot. I know one of your big question marks on him was back to goal, so it'd be interesting to see how your opinions have changed. No,
I think that if you ask me my opinion, I think that the next 3 games, you get 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. I think that Liverpool game becomes a game changer for the season because you win that game at the Etihad, Arsenal begin to shit their pants big time. And I think when you go into the Christmas period, you will begin to see cracks and pressure build because if you're defensive and you score with corners, that's fine. I mean, a goal is a goal, 3 points, 3 points. But the longer it gets, right, and you can't crack the code and you got 3 points behind you, have this juggernaut behind you, who they've beaten you many times to the title because it's been close, pressure begins to build. I'm telling you, pressure begins to build.
And you've got them at the Etihad as well.
Right.
I know. Right. And nobody predicted us to get anything in that game at the Emirates, and we should have won that game.
Yeah.
We should have won that game. We completely flummoxed them. They did not know. And this is a trend I'm starting to see with Arsenal. I think teams are happy to give them the ball because they know that Arsenal aren't going to do anything with it. Because as this comment from Cisco, they're devoid of midfield creativity. I've been saying this for years, and I think the big issue is Declan Rice. I don't think he's good at like getting the ball where it needs to go to the creators to get their chance. And they are missing Odegaard in that aspect. He's a much better 8. But I've posed these questions to Arsenal fans about like, you're basically ignoring your striker at this point because you can't get him. And I've said that I think their best midfield, if they're trying to cater to their striker, is Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Eze.
Let me be clear. Let me help everybody understand this from my point of view, right? Gorkayez, Arsenal, Isaac, Liverpool. Who else there again? Chelsea. Who's Chelsea guy again? Nobody. Okay. Right. So let's take those 2 for example. The problem they have is that efficiency-wise, you're trying to match a robot who's built by the gods, right? Who doesn't have to be on the ball, can be aloof for 60 minutes, but give him a sniff and bang, it's 1-0. So That's the now. I've heard many stories from Liverpool fans and the media in general saying Isak is a better striker than Haaland last season. But the reality is, when you have the margins are so thin against the big games, and you don't have that killer in the box, you get found out very quickly. It's becoming evident.
Yeah, anyone trying to compare Gyökeres to Haaland, yeah, your opinion is your football knowledge is not there. we know
also-
Haaland is the best, and we're not just saying that to the stats back it up. Like, because if
Haaland
Haaland
is the
gets
best,
the
but-
chances that Gyökeres got on Sunday, Haaland's bagging at least one or two of them.
But this is the thing, like Arsenal. Yes, Haaland is much better than Gyökeres as well. But Arsenal fans and possibly Arteta, apparently, they thought that they just needed to put a striker there, and they would keep creating chances the same way. That the ball would keep going through the box in the same way, and instead of not having anybody there to tap it in, they would have a striker. That's not necessarily true. What they used to do beforehand was having Harvards drop into the midfield to have them move the ball around, create the superiority, and then put the ball wide and then cross the ball in. But if he's in the midfield, he's not going to be in the box. So you're giving away the presence in the box to have a guy in the midfield. This is going to allow you to create more chances. If you take that guy away from the midfield, you have to bring somebody else into the midfield to help you to create the chances, right? And Arsenal simply don't do that. They just try to keep playing the same way, but instead of having an extra body in the midfield to help them, they just completely disregard that. And this is why I think they're probably not being able to create as many chances as they would like to, probably.
This is a great.
Do you know Gyökeres is still Arsenal's top goal scorer on 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the part
five goals out
that
of
I
open
find
play.
wild. This is what I find wild. Gyökeres is on 3. Then the next one's 2, and then they've got a bunch of 1s.
They have 5 goals.
I don't get what people are wanting from this score of the things. It's like Real Madrid, their top goal scorer is Mbappe. Bayern's is Kane. There's a reason you have a world-class number 9. You don't have a world-class. You don't have a world-class number 9 and get him to like pass the ball. I don't. It's an argument that I'm finding a bit weird at the minute. I can't get my head around it.
Well, you got your hands full tomorrow with Egal. That's going to be interesting. You can point this out to him. Because actually, I agree with what Spartacus said. I think the reason they were creating chances last season is because they were overloading the midfield with the false 9. And I actually told some Arsenal fans on a stream, I said, you're probably going to see Kai Havertz play when he comes back because of what he was doing. And Gyökeres can't do that. And we say that because we've seen it with Haaland. Like, we've seen when Haaland gets marked out of a game and our midfield struggle, he's not scoring a lot of goals. Except Haaland is just way better. Like, even last year when he was feeding on scraps the entire season. Sorry to bring last season up, Martin, but I'm using it to say how great Haaland is. Feeding on scraps.
But last season,
scored 20 goals.
But last season, Gavardio scoring, Stones was scoring, and everyone was moaning Haaland wasn't scoring.
Esteban. Oh.
This is the problem. Everyone's. It depends what you want. It's just, for me, last season we moaned because Haaland wasn't scoring enough, and now we're moaning that he's scoring too much.
Is this true about Hamza? Spartacus called Hamza out for not critiquing Van Dijk. He refuses to defend him because Van Dijk's brother follows him on Twitter. What?
I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Is he saying that to me, or is he saying that to Hamza? I don't get this one.
He wants you to call Hamza out.
Yeah, we can have another debate stream. Yeah, he's not here. Like, why are we talking about this and that? Okay, and let's move on.
Yeah, well, okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna jump.
All right, thanks for hopping on, Martin.
Big up everyone. Big up Carl, Spartacus.
See ya.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that game. I'm very happy with it. We just got to keep on doing it. Like, and I think as others have said, we haven't even really hit our stride yet, and we're able to get the results, and we kind of have to because we dropped those points earlier in the season when we were a bit of a mess.
There is this the narrative I don't get, and a lot of people have been saying this, and people that I know knows ball, not just random people. People complaining about us not creating chances in the first half. It's one thing it being boring, yes. It's another thing saying that we didn't create anything. Look, if we were 3-0 up in the first half, that wouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Savio should be scoring 2, Doku should be scoring 1, Reinders should be scoring 1 as well. We created 4 very good chances. And then if you go to the second half, we created about as many. The difference is we created them for Haaland instead of creating them for others. And Haaland's just going to bag most of them.
Yeah, and Haaland is the one I want bagging the chances. Let's be frank. I'd rather him take the shot than other players that you just mentioned. But at some point, the other players, I think they will. But right now
they will score.
We have the hot hand. Why not keep feeding it while he's cooking?
I mean, the truth is, listen, people always find something to moan about. I mean, I wasn't happy with the first half. I'll be honest. I felt we could do better with some adjustments mentally, basically. And second half, we came out and I saw what I was looking for. But if Haaland's going to get 80 goals a season, and I'm being hyperbolic, I don't really care.
Coming for Messi.
If he gets 80 goals, good. He didn't get 80 goals. I couldn't care. If all we are working for is to get him the goals and he scores the goals and stays fit, good. But I do know that if Haaland was to go down for a reason, can't play, somebody else will step up.
And I think we have the players to do that as well. I think you can look at Mamouche, you can look at Foden, you can look at Cherki, you can look at Reinders, you can look at many players who should be able to step up and get the job done as well. It's not like we're devoid of players who can score in this squad. A lot of them can. We're just choosing to create for the best finisher in the planet. So I don't think that's a particularly bad plan either.
No, it's a very good one. Also, don't forget, we have something no other team has, which is Pep Guardiola, and he'll get that out of those players. Like he'll find a way, because like Martin was saying before he left, when Haaland was out last season, we scored 15 goals in like 4 or 5 games with Marmouche, with Foden. Like, so give Pep the ingredients, and he'll find a way, because he's Pep Guardiola and he's a genius.
A lot of people have been saying in that run that we play better without Haaland, and now we're saying that we can't play without Haaland. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense.
I think what they're confusing is we play differently without Haaland, which seems to be more fluid many times. But and that's fair, right? But when you have Haaland in there, it's just one chance, one goal. And he himself is a gravity well, right? He pulls people towards him, which allows other people to be free.
Yeah.
But he's so good that when he has that small chance, even with the 2 on him, he finds the back of the net. It's somebody was arguing with me, Spartacus, the other day, and Sunday about Drogba. Some guy was talking about was a better player than Haaland. I just couldn't understand what he was on about. So because Drogba is efficient in the big games in the Champions League. I'm like, bro, look at the stats. Stats don't lie, right? I mean, it's the fact that Drogba scores a header and a penalty in the Champions League final is irrelevant, right? Without Haaland, we don't get a treble. Let's be clear. Without Erling Braut Haaland, you don't get a treble.
Yeah. We didn't win the treble until we didn't win a Champions League until we got Erling Haaland.
And I said it that year. I said, for me, he's the one. That year we won the treble in the Champions. I said, he's the one. He's the one that's going to take us there. I was convinced.
And he'll take us back there too.
The moment we're going to sign
another Champions League soon.
Yeah, Martin and I talked about this. We talked about this while the whole thing was going on, and we concurred. We agreed that he was the one that was going to make a difference. So when Martin starts talking about treble father, right? There are many treble fathers that were in there. One of which was Moa. We were convinced. He was
probably going to regret adding this guy, but Marshad's here. Marshad, can you tell us about the game?
So
it was good game, especially the second half. I don't have any
confidence. Haaland, I'm getting rid. I'm removing
No. Haaland is doing what I always want him to do. He's making space for other players. He's linking up with other our midfielders. He's doing great right now. He's the best player in the league right now. If he plays like that, we will be in great position in terms of goal scoring. People think, Kelsey, you think I hate Haaland. I don't hate Haaland. I just want him to be a bit more goal scoring, No, I want him to be a bit more goal scoring because if we don't have those kind of world class players like KDB or you know Gundogan, Brian Gundogan, so he has to take responsibility about a lot of more than goal scoring. To prove that he can score a lot of goals, but he has to prove that he can be more than goal scoring. That's what I want him to do. No, that's right now. That's what he's doing right now, and I'm more happy about it. The other thing I'm wanna discuss about is winger situation. I told you before, Kels, and even in group chat, I told everyone that wingers are not working here. Forget about wingers. For example, if you watch the first goal we scored against Everton, look where Doku was. Look, he was inside.
Yeah.
If
And
you
he
want to
played
get,
his
if
best
you
ball
want,
when he's been inside to further your
look,
point.
I'm telling you one thing. I'm telling you one thing. Look, every game Doku played very good in our team. Look, every game, even the last year, every time we played inside forward, Doku, he plays good football against Man United, against Newcastle, even Club World Cup. He was playing very good when we play him as a inside forward. But if you play him as a touchline winger, he will he will be so bad. That's what I'm telling you right now.
This is the thing. Touchline wingers, they're gonna be by the nature of their positioning, they're gonna be less effective goal scoring wise and assisting wise. They're gonna be less impactful in a game because they're further away from the goal. They're closer to the touchline. It's much harder to create from the touchline than it is from inside. So when you have a touchline winger, you're banking on your forwards to be able to score, to be able to get you out of the game. The striker, the midfielders, the attacking midfielders, sometimes even the fullbacks who goes into the half spaces. So I think it's much more about what we want to do in a game than like this player by himself.
No, 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 no. Listen, listen, listen. If you watch when KDB played as a progressive eight, every time Real Madrid or Kid or Grealish got the ball, you always make overlapping decision. Look, if you watch Doku, when Doku got the ball, there are almost two players occupying him, trying to defend him against him. So there is space behind those two players. So Reinders must make overlapping. So no one is making overlapping. So how can a winger be successful if there is no any overlapping? How?
I think it's the winger. The thing is, the midfielder he has to do an underlap when the wingers is when you're playing a
Supposed to
winger
back
as a
striker.
touchline winger. So that, as you just said, when you have a winger hugging the touchline, you're gonna have two players doubling up on them. So this creates spaces for players to attack the inside channel. So players need to do that. I think a lot of times in the games, especially yesterday, we had a lot of situations where the midfielder had the space to attack the half space, and the winger had the angle to pass the ball into. But for some reason or another, the midfielder didn't choose. They just chose to hold the ground and not really do the attacking. So this is a thing that Pep wants the wingers and midfielders to do. Like this is a choice. There are good things about it, and there are the bad things about it. This, if they keep their shape, it's probably going to be a little bit safer defensively because they're going to be a little bit more solid defensively. But if they start roaming up the field, you're going to have a little bit better attacking, but a lot better attacking. But you're also going to be uh, a lot more exposed defensively, right? Because your midfielders are actually inside the box and your fullbacks are also inside the box. So it's it really is just a trade-off. Like there's not much you can say on that. Pep is choosing to do
I
this.
agree.
If it is the
I
right
agree with
choice
you.
or
I
not,
agree with
we
you.
can debate, but you
I
can't
agree with
say that.
you. All I am asking is play Doku as an inside as inside. Play him inside. Don't don't play him as a touchline winger. There is no use in playing as a touchline winger.
There
I,
is
I,
like
I,
you're gonna
I don't
go
know. I
on.
mean, I think you just get the win. I mean, just whatever their best fit, just manage to just get the win. He'll solve it. He'll figure it out.
Is
And
there a
Yeah.
game on right now? Oh, I didn't realize.
No, no, I'm not worried about.
playing.
Even if Joko has to stick at another game, I don't worry about Joko because of, we have another players who can play that position very well. We have Marmoush, we have Safio. So the other player that I want to talk about is Foden. Foden is playing very good right now, and no one is mentioning him. I'm telling you right now, Foden was the man of the match against Everton. Yes, people were saying Haaland was the man of the match. He scored 2 goals, but the architecture of those 2 goals
Yeah, you
was
have some background
through
noise.
Foden.
If you,
Yeah,
I mean, if someone has a background noise, if you're listening to a game, put it on mute so that we don't get.
Copyright.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh dear, yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
see if that went away. Okay, I muted Marshad. I think he has it. Oh. Well, at least we have a second channel, so it happens. Everybody, if you don't like the second channel, please go subscribe to the second channel now. Just in case, the True City Fan Extra. Anyways, okay, so let's move on real quick. Let's give a quick preview of tomorrow's game. I know Pep just had his press conference. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I saw a few quotes online. Rodri and Husinov are not in the squad, but Rodri went down with the team. Probably just was dying for a chance to get some Spanish food, probably because he's Spanish. Why not go to Spain? Hopefully, but he's also one of our captains, so that's always encouraging when an injured captain is there to support his team. I saw it last night with my American football team. One of our captains is injured, and he went to the game last night, and the team won. So that was exciting for my American football team. But yeah, maybe Roger will kind of. You saw it also in the preview for the Everton game during in the tunnel. He was there just in street clothes, kind of talking to everyone and getting people ready. So we could see some more of that, hopefully. But yeah, we could do a quick lineup builder, and then we'll just set everybody on their way so they can go enjoy the rest of their evenings. Hang on, let me just share my. Let me just do this. Okay, share screen. Okay, so let's do a quick lineup. Let me see if that worked. Yeah, that did work. Okay. Whoops, I hate this website sometimes because it has ads. Okay. Oh God, I went through this last time. The formation. I'm still getting used to this this website, and I always forget which.
Don't worry.
Which formation? Oh, it's here. Okay, so we think it's going to be we'll just say a 4-3-3, but we know it's Pep, so it doesn't always do it. Okay, so obviously we're going to do Donnarumma.
Well, I want to ask Spartacus a question. Spartacus, I've been thinking about this, right? And I want just to kind of brainstorm about this. And I talked to Kelly about this, right? If we want to get Omar, Haaland, Shirky, Foden, Reinders, Rodri or Gonzalez, and on the field, 4-3-1-2. What do you think?
4-3-1-2. No, I think I think the best way to do it, I think it would be just playing out 4-3-3, but have the fullbacks go high and wide and allow Mamouche to drift inside into those half spaces. Because this is where he likes to play better. This is on those left hand side right spaces. This is where he played his best football for Frankfurt, and the same for City as well. So just allow him to drift inside, keep Foden as the 8, leave Jerky on the wide as he's been best at, and Haaland central.
Yeah. What if let's assume that let's say that they do that, right? And the fullbacks push up high and wide, which means they're left with a 2 or 3 at center back. So say a 2-3-5 or 3-2-5. Then the problem becomes transitions, right? Over the top, in behind, all that space into goal.
I would keep one fullback back. So
Okay,
it will be a 3-2-5. Yeah.
Okay.
A 3-5-2. Yeah.
Yeah, a 3-2-5, right? So we have so have 2 center
backs.
backs.
3-2. Oh, never mind. I see what you're saying. Yeah, like kind of that was kind of what the treble season was.
Yeah, basically treble system.
Yeah.
So also,
then Tiani's a little bit back with Rodri to help him out, and then you get the line of 5 with the one fullback going forward.
I mean, I've been thinking about it a lot, right? About how do you get these guys to play in positions where they are So that front two, or 1-1 would be Erling and Marmoush. He likes to play that behind the main striker and rotate, which also gives the opposition a problem because now you have two guys who can actually run. So it's just thinking out loud anyway.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I think that if we can get Mamouche into those half spaces coming from wide, it poses questions to the fullback of the opposition. Because then he has to either think, do I stay with Mamouche and go inside, or do I defend the wide channels with the fullback who's coming in? And then if he chooses to defend the wide spaces with Mamouche, then you have a free cross into Haaland in the box with the
What did we
fullback.
do against Juventus? Because that was probably over the past 4 or 5 months. It's probably our most fluid game, right? I mean, it was really fluid.
I think
Yeah,
it was very similar to what
Ainori
we
was
did
going high and
against.
wide in that game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of.
Also,
Sometimes yes.
also,
Some,
Juve was very bad.
Sorry?
I watched it. Yes, we did play a good football, but Juve was they were given a lot of spaces in the middle.
Yeah, but it's not the opposition. Talk about how we played. Sometimes you work at how you play, not what the opposition does, right? So now you make the
Sometimes
opposition bad, right? It's not about
I know that, but sometimes the Premier League, the problem with the Premier League uh, is too quick to get figured out in the Premier League.
but hear me out.
Sometimes you play good
What
football
I'm trying to
after
say is
yeah.
what I'm trying, and I understand that. What I'm trying to say is sometimes the patterns of play you establish in certain games gives you a blueprint of what is good, regardless of the opposition, regardless, right?
I understand that, but the problem
Right.
we have is still in our team. Still, we didn't find a right balanced lineup. Still, I don't think still we didn't get our perfect lineup to cook this season. And I think Ryder is, yes, people are saying Ryder is playing bad, but I think Ryder must play in the Premier League every game because of his
But that's
physicality.
what I'm trying to understand is
I know I know what you are saying. I know I can understand you, but I don't have any answer for that. Sometimes we play good pattern, sometimes we didn't. I don't know why. Because of the players are not uh, are still learning each other. I don't know.
anyway. Carry on,
Anyways,
Kelly. Carry on.
let's do a quick lineup builder for the Villarreal game, and then I gotta go in a few minutes. So I put Spartacus' favorite. I put Donnarumma as a keeper, and then I put Diaz as center back. Do we have any? Are we gonna just say the back four, or are we gonna say Nunes, Diaz, Yashko, and O'Reilly? Are there any objections? Any changes?
Is Husanov fit?
No, he didn't travel.
No. Okay, so no changes from me either.
Okay, so Nunes. See, this lineup
Do
remembers me.
you think Kosorov had a bad injury? What do you think
Apparently,
about Kosorov?
Transfer Markt has finally told us he has an ankle injury. I saw that somewhere.
Just think he had one injury. It's not necessarily bad.
That's just crazy because I don't think he was injury prone at all until he. Oh, I had this problem. Oh God! Hello, come on. Here, everyone, say hi to the cat. Cat goes away. She's a funny little girl. There we go.
A lot of
O'Reilly.
this is the thing. Like players, they need a little bit of time to get adjusted to different clubs, and this isn't just about football and about coaching and about just about mentality. That this is just about like diets, the weather, the country, the philosophy, everything. When it changes, it can create very big problems. This is why, for example, when you go into international break, a lot of players get injured because it's completely different to what they are used to. And when you're playing at such high intensity, every little change can make a difference on you. So I think this might be a little bit of the situation with Husanov. I think he might be
Well,
getting
yeah,
used to
I
the.
agree with you. I agree with you. But also, he plays as aggressive. You know that when you play aggressive, sometimes you get a bad injury or something like that. Also, this comment saying rest Diaz and break stories. No. We have to learn our mistakes last year. We have to consider this
I think we
game.
have. I think we've learned
Yeah,
quite a few lessons.
we have to consider this game as a Premier League, as a must-win game.
All right, so must win. So we're okay. We're playing Nico G as a 6, right?
Yes.
You don't have a
No
choice.
objections.
Okay.
We could be playing Kovacic.
Well,
Bernardo
the beauty
Silva.
is you could play both of them.
I don't want to risk it. Kovacic in this game. I don't like. You want him
Okay,
to
so who
play
else is in your midfield then?
Bernardo
Who's
Silva.
going to be our 8? Are you do Tijani or would you throw Bernardo in there? Because we know Bernardo's
Bernardo
going to play, so it's a matter of where
Bernardo
we play.
Call him Bernardo.
Put in Bernardo. Okay, we'll do Bernardo as our right 8. Okay, so we'll do Bernardo, and then do we have any objections as Phil Foden as the 10?
Foden.
No, I don't think anyone.
Foden is giving me David Silva 5s. Last game, he gave me David Silva 5.
Obviously, Erling Haaland is going to be starting up front. We'll just say, like, that's just going to happen. Okay, so now then it comes down to the wingers. Who do you guys want to play as wingers?
I would play Bob on
Yes,
the
agree.
right side and Mamouche on the left.
Okay. Do you object to that, Carl?
You think it's a match?
I would go probably Doku instead of Mamouche because he's in rhythm or was in rhythm. Mamouche has come back from injury. I like Bob on the right side, though. I will say that.
But, okay, so we all want Oscar Bob.
Yeah, Bob definitely. Right. The question becomes Mamouche, Doku, or Sabine. I would sorry, just a minute. I would do either Mamouche or Doku. It depends on who's in rhythm.
You can start Doku, and you can always bring Marmouche on. Like,
no, I think I'll probably start
65,
Mamouche.
70 minutes.
No, you start Mamouche, and then maybe when they get tired, you bring on Doku to explode and keep, basically beat them one-on-one if you're really struggling. So I would go.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that because they wanted Marmouche. So
yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, this is my thinking too. I would put Mamouche in, because I think Doku is better off the bench than Mamouche. So if Mamouche is not working, it's better off to bring Doku than the opposite way around.
Yeah, Spartacus. This team we are playing against, Villarreal, is a weird team. Sometimes they cook big teams. Sometimes they are terrible. Do you know they cook an Arsenal 3-0 in the Emirates this season?
Who?
They are the best side. They are the best side we're gonna face aside from Madrid. They're far better than
they are far better than Borussia. Yes, they are weak team. Sometimes they got beaten by small team in a La Liga. Sometimes they cook Barcelona. They cook Real Madrid. This team is a weird team. Even they cook Arsenal in Emirates this season. It's a weird team. Marceliano, their coach is very good. He's very good. He's the former Atletico Bilbao coach. He's very good coach. And they have good players. I think Barty played right? Barty. Thomas Barty.
I'm just gonna be honest. I have not watched a single. I don't know anything about Villarreal.
They're very fun to watch.
I watched them their last game. Their last game was good. They played against Real Betis.
Did they play Madrid, Spartacus, or Barcelona and got a good result?
Barca. They played Barca.
That's why Spartacus watched them.
No, I actually like to watch them.
You do?
Okay. I saw the result and it was like, okay. Yeah.
This is unfortunate facts.
Real Madrid,
I don't say this person's name, but yeah, Nico G, watch out.
Real Madrid beat them 3-1.
Ironically, that comment's coming from Predator.
Thomas Barty was benched against their last game against Real Betis. I think actually scored 2 goals in a final minute.
Cost us 20. What? I don't know what that comment means. I'm not going to respond to it. Zorro, I don't know what you mean by that. So maybe we'll just. Okay, so this is our. Oh boy, Nossi. I was about to wrap the stream up, but we gotta give Nossi a chance. I don't have a long time, so we'll bring Nossi in real quick. Oh no, that's not Nossi. That's Romeo's back. Oh no, they're both here. Okay, we'll unshare the screen. All right, the South African contingent is back. What do you guys? What are you guys' predictions for tomorrow?
I thought I was the only one. Can I just came here to you guys a bit of the lineup.
Do you like the lineup, or would you change anything? I think we lost him again.
So far,
What do you think? We're gonna keep trying. We'll keep giving you a chance.
I
Put
think
your
it's
comment in the
phenomenal.
chat if you like the lineup
My
or not.
mainstay. My mainstay, number one, Donnarumma. Does Mr. Paolo that statement?
Yeah. Well, we didn't give him a choice. I just put him in there. I was like, it's a Champions League game. Donnarumma's gonna play. No, Spartacus, I think he gets a bad rap. I think he was just
Any
critical because he
objections,
thought that
bud?
the style of play would be different. But I think he's been pretty calm since Donnarumma came. He's kept the hater.
Not being critical of Donnarumma though. Not being critical about Donnarumma.
And it's objective too. When you do critique him, it's just, you're not just being a hater. You're actually giving a reason, like an actual reason, and you're backing it up with facts. So that's okay. We can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But people call you a hater for. I think they're the haters for calling you a hater.
Well,
Teal South African. Pick up South Africa. What do you think, Nasti? What do you think for tomorrow? How do you think it's gonna go?
I think we're gonna win, but I'm not sure by the margins because it's unpredictable. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're not shooting to score. So I don't know.
Villarreal. In the park.
Maybe
Sorry.
maybe
Going at the moment.
if
3-1, 3-1.
maybe if Haaland scores a hat trick, I'd be happy. That's what I need from him. Like on a
Marcia,
club
I'm gonna mute you again because I think he's got that music on in the background or something. I did hear a score prediction, but
I'm just gonna
maybe that
go.
wasn't him.
I'm gonna go 1-0, Kelly. I think that's
A 1-0 City. Marcia had said 3-1 City.
1-0. I mean,
Oh, sorry.
they're a tough opposition. They're no joke. So I'm everybody plays well these days. You can't just take anything for granted.
Spartacus did it to himself. He's taking plenty of beating for his opinion. Let's just move on from that from Spartacus. Let him just continue to observe and
Do you know, Kelly? Do you know?
Apologize at the end of the season.
Kelly, do you know that 1-0 is the hardest scoreline to win by?
Yeah.
People think 3-1, 4-1. 1-0 is the hardest scoreline to get in a game of 90 minutes. It is hard. It's exhausting.
The level of concentration they need to keep is ridiculous.
The people think, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. No, 1-0 is the hardest scoreline to win by. When you see 1-0, any scoreline, you know that team's
extend till 2019, someone said. Yeah.
I think they're just being wishful thinking.
There'd be riots.
Villarreal have scored 16 goals and 14 open play. Okay, so our defense has to be on it, but I think we put a good defense out there. Our two best center backs are best.
I told you before. They are weak team for real. They are weak team.
Very solid team. They can do pretty much everything.
Arsenal thing going on too. Is it Nicolas Pepe out on their team?
We're just 3 goals.
Arsenal's record
worse
signing.
than Arsenal, by the way, who have the best defense in Europe apparently. So not bad, Susie.
What's bad? What's so bad about it is Nicolas Pepe didn't play even their last game. He was bench. He was in the bench. He didn't play.
We're happy that Rodri can't get injured by a certain someone. So Nico G, you've been warned.
I don't think he can play, can he?
Nico G finally. Last game. He surprised me.
Yeah, Nico G's time to shine tomorrow. I think he'll. Pep said in his presser that Rodri's not going to play. I think it was yesterday or today. Not today. It was yesterday. There was a quote floating around. Rodri's not going to play against Villarreal or Villa. So Nico G, this is your time.
No. Nico G, biggest test will be for Aston Villa. If he cook Aston Villa, he will be
really,
player.
Well to do basically.
He's come a long way so far. So yeah, maybe next international break we'll have to do a Nico G stream to kind of examine where he was at the beginning of the season, where he is now, and how much he's improved. I think he deserves a highlight. You can do it for a
But I
bunch of
feel
players,
you
too.
guys need to
Yeah, I
give
feel
him
like he's
time.
slightly, but he's on the up again.
Give
There's
him
no
more
time.
time.
There's no
Yeah.
time when you are playing
It's too
so much.
soon.
There's no time.
Too soon.
There's
I
no
think he's
time when you are
improving
playing
every
so much.
game.
Definitely.
Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, he will get them a time like Kelvin Phillips, but not now.
Oh, God. No, he's blown past anything Calvin Phillips has done for this club.
Not
I
now.
think the most important thing is he's earning Pep's trust. So he's one of the first names on the team sheet. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because I got some stuff I have to do before I start work. But let me share the lineup one more time that we have that we came up with, and then you guys can give your final thoughts. This was our lineup. So that's our lineup. And yeah, we will be doing a watch along tomorrow. I'll be doing the watch along. I don't know who's joining me. I have to dip in the middle of the second half again, kind of like in the Monaco game.
I'll join you.
I'm hoping someone will be able to kind of take over that last like 20 or 30 minutes. So we'll figure that out. But we'll be doing. I'll definitely
Like
be
5
doing the watch
minutes
along
with
here.
the PSG game.
And be doing the what? Nosi's gonna take over the watch along and do it.
Team
We'll
writing,
make sure
team
it's a
writing
good
watch along.
internet.
Since you didn't make to watch along, we
Good for
start
that.
winning. Keep that, Kels.
We'll do it. We'll recruit a lot of people, but I hope they just don't talk over each other. Then we'll be fine.
I'm the queen of that. I admit it. I'm pretty awful at that. I talk over everyone all the time.
Is there any chance you can convince Prophet to join?
I think he works during
I
that
can
time.
try. I think I have to
figure
rattle
something out.
him for him to come. I'll rattle him tonight.
Your
There you
best
go. I'm hoping Mateus will join because I think he has tomorrow off of work. I'm not sure about that. I'll ask him about it later. Oh, Patrick will be here. Yes, Patrick. I'll join you for the first 90 minutes of the game. But anyways, guys, that's the stream. Big up to Carl, Spartacus.
Bernardo Silva agency. Patrick, Bernardo Silva agency.
Bernardo Silva hat trick. Okay, Bernardo Silva hat
No,
trick. You heard it here
agency.
first. Oh, someone's getting a phone call. Anyways, all right, guys. Big up Martin who joined us earlier. That's the stream.
Big up.
Everyone enjoy the rest of your evenings. We'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. Bye bye.